once again to Living in the 21st Century. And in the studio with me today, I have Maureen Prescott. She is the Vice President for the Socioeconomic Development Foundation of Boston. Also joining me in the studio is Patricia Gorin. She is the Barbados Church Service Committee President. Also joining me is Sylvain Lestrade. She is from the Dominica Cancer Society. Ladies, welcome to Living in the 21st Century.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So my first question goes out to you, Maureen. You have recently accepted the Board of Director position as Vice President of the Socioeconomic Development Foundation. But more importantly, you have been working tremendously over these years in uniting Barbadians. What are you doing for its 50th year of independence?
Thank you so much, Errol. This year, as you stated, is Barbados' 50th year of independence. So the organization United Barbadians in Massachusetts, we've only been around for 2 years officially, but we were commissioned by the Consulate General's Office of Barbados to put together the organization that would ensure that we have an organization in place to celebrate Barbados' 50th. So this year, November 19th, we are putting together a gala at the Lantana in Randolph.
Okay.
To bring all of the Barbadians and friends of Barbadians and families of friends of Barbadians to celebrate with us on this auspicious occasion. So we're hoping to have an excellent turnout for this event, and we promise it's going to be very symbolic gala.
Excellent. And Patricia, tell me a little bit more about your organization.
The Barbados Church Service Committee was put together also by the Consulate of Barbados, and this is to celebrate Barbados' independence in a service of Thanksgiving. So every year for independence, there's an ongoing service in selected churches to celebrate the Independence Church service.
Beautiful, excellent. And you know, I love to hear we getting all independent and this big celebration. It really brings joy to my heart also as a Barbadian. But even though I'm joyful about that, there's something still that really takes to my heart, and this is where I'm going to ask Sylvain Lestrade, the representative for the Dominica Cancer Society, to explain a little bit what's really going on in terms of getting Barbados' attention to help more or contribute more to those cancer patients who go there for help.
Thank you, Errol, and thank you, fellow Barbadians. Well, as you said, my name is Sylvain Lestrade, and I'm representing the Dominica Cancer Society. Dominica is one of the islands in the Caribbean, and usually we send our people to Barbados or Guyana or Trinidad to get medical care because we're unable to sustain our peoples. And you know that medical care anywhere in the world is really expensive. And for Dominicans who are unemployed or do not have a huge earning income, it is really difficult. So that expatriates like me and diasporas like me, we are willing to help our people. So yearly, I ask my friends, ask my fellow workers, my husband does the same thing. We are asking for aid. At least whatever you have to give, we are willing to accept it, because with what you give, we're able to send women and men and even children to seek medical care on another island who has the capacity to deal with what we're dealing with.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And you know, it is, I think I earned the right to say that cancer is a global problem to every human being. It has no respect to a person.
Absolutely.
And I'm diligently asking that if there's anyone here in Newton, to those who may hear this from the Barbadian Society, whatever they can contribute in terms of helping the Dominica Cancer Society get through its problems, please make a free contribution. I think there's a number you can reach.
You can reach me at 617-427-4727. Again, my name is Sylvain, and I'm asking the Newton community, I'm asking the Barbadian community, I'm asking all the communities of Boston to please contribute to this Dominica Cancer Society Fund, because we are in dire need of funds right now. There are many women and men and even children who are needing and seeking medical care, but because of the lack of resources, lack of funds, they're unable to access it. So give, dig deep, give as much as you can, give as much as you are willing to give. We will accept as little or as much as you have.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I want to get back here for a second, though, to the Barbados independence. Just to look at some of Barbados' history, because Barbados had came a long way since 1966, when they would have broken away from its attachment to England, who were presently known at that time as the mother country, so to speak. It was a colony of England. However, then, since Barbados had came a long way with hardly any industry, they solely depend on tourism and businesses going there to set up their own infrastructures, etc. But I don't want to take too much time just giving my opinion. I need you all to really shed some light here. But I must add this too. For those businesses who are thinking about going to Indonesia and China and those other countries and exploiting people for nothing, keep your integrity intact. Go straight there to Barbados, where you can pay half the labor costs that you pay here in the U.S. Set your business up. I'm sure that they will find great incentive plans to make sure that it's worthwhile coming there and doing business. So I'm adding my piece in marketing Barbados. But however, though, we have a lot of brilliant talent in Barbados, 100% literacy. I mean, it's something going on for years. Would you care to elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, certainly our founding father, Mr. Errol Barrow, that was the gentleman who propelled us into independence. One of his goals was always to make sure that the Barbadians were educated.
Yes.
And so school became free for all Barbadians. So we've had the privilege of going to school because he believed that education was our way to freedom. So as you stated, Barbados doesn't have a lot of natural resources, but it does have its people.
That's correct.
And we are, we're educated. They're forced us to go to school. We, as we will normally say in Barbados, we speak the Queen's English, but we know that we also have our accent and our dialect.
Yes.
So we defer to that, to each other. So if you were to bring businesses to Barbados, obviously you're dealing with people who have great intellect, are able to think, and be able to solve any issues, and they're certainly very industrious.
Exactly.
Our pride, our motto in Barbados is pride in industry.
Yes.
And we take that to heart. So wherever we go, we take that with us. So that's not staying in Barbados, it's staying with the people. Exactly. Because it's something that we embodied. So if there's anyone who's interested in going to Barbados to see Barbados for themselves, to see what kind of businesses they can actually bring to Barbados, I encourage them to do that.
Sure. I mean, even think about it now. Winter is fastly approaching us.
Oh, yes.
And you're going to get freeze.
Great R&R.
If you need to get tall out, go right there to Barbados, and you get the sun of your life.
Absolutely.
But it's beautiful going there. There's so much we can sit back and ponder on in terms of education. I mean, you don't have a choice to be literate. I mean, I come up in a time in my day where failing to learn, they would beat the education into you.
It wasn't a choice.
They have something called
you
mental
had to learn.
arithmetic.
Yes. You had to learn.
You had to learn.
It wasn't
you didn't have a choice. You had to learn.
Yeah.
And you can't go home complaining to your parents either. Well,
absolutely not.
My teacher beat me.
No.
You're looking for the second set.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get beat all over again.
That's right. And that's one of the things I admire, because respect for teachers and respect for your home.
Yes.
So it went hand in hand,
Definitely.
And I think that's something that's missing in today. We put a lot on the teachers, but teaching really starts within your home.
Of course.
And parents need to respect teachers, and I think once children realize that they need to have respect for that level of authority, that they would adhere to that.
Exactly.
But I think your education, your first teacher is really your parents.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I understand we have an icon. He's going to be here, the mighty Gabby. He is one of Barbados' first Calypsonians who had established the tasteful music of Calypso, and he's going to be here performing also on the 19th. what would you tell the Newton residents? Because this is something a little bit out of the norm, unless they would have visited Barbados or the Caribbean to know what Calypso is all about. Well,
Wow.
to give you a brief idea what it's all about, if you want to burn some fast calories, as the Barbadians would say, we call it here, we may call it here dancing, but they will call it waka. And that means if the young ladies out there need to want a nice waistline, you go to Barbados. And any Barbadian young lady out there will teach you how to get a nice waistline pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that. Pat, what do you
But
think
I
about
don't
that? Pat, well, what do you think about that?
What?
Yes.
What you say about that, Pat?
Wake up.
We don't have to be strange.
We
Let's
don't
keep
have
it
to be
real.
strange. Let's keep it real, okay? And you're coming to the one that does most of the church stuff.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's keep it real. And I've seen some of the dancing with some of the folks on television and what they call twerking, but I think they take that to a different level.
Yes.
Because Calypso is all about just dance and fast moving dancing. Yes, it includes a lot of the waistline movements and stuff like that, but it's really good exercise, great
Yes.
for you. And if you just consider it a dance, then you wouldn't look at it like it's a dirty dance.
Exactly.
Because I think that's taken a lot of the time out of
Yes.
context as far as the dance that we portray,
Right.
part of our African
Exactly.
culture.
Well, yes, I thought of it from more the health standpoint. You know, I thought of it more from the health concept. So I just want to switch back to the Dominican Cancer Society representative again. You know, we look here at just once a year or 1 month a year, people just tend to start going out there and raising funds for cancer. Could this be something where you can consistently or continually do so that you can have a group of people or citizens from different countries just continuously contributing to help these cancer patients?
This sounds like a great idea because cancer is not a once a year disease or sickness or whatever you want to call it. Cancer is every day. You know, someone gets cancer. Someone has been diagnosed, not getting, has been diagnosed with that disease. And it's terrifying, it's petrifying, it's humbling, it freezes you. You do not know what to do when you think of having cancer. So if monthly, because America have many holidays, the Caribbean have many holidays. There are many things coming. Right now it's Thanksgiving. I haven't been here, but the Thanksgiving celebration. So if we could think of, instead of having this huge meal, we could cut back it a little bit less and put towards the fund for the Dominic, whatever he's going to spend. If we could split this in half and put half of whatever you're going to spend for your Thanksgiving dinner or chip half of it into the Thanksgiving fund, it would help people because every day, every week, every month, someone is being diagnosed. Someone is scared, petrified. They are, life as they know it has been changed forever. It's life changing. And I'm not only speaking because I'm a Dominican representative, I'm speaking from personal. My sister died of cancer. My other sister is a survivor. My brother is a survivor. And right now, my husband is going for chemotherapy. So cancer has touched me. I have, in Dominica and the Caribbean, we talk about our godparents. One of my godparents recently died of cancer. The other one is a cancer survivor. She had a mastectomy. So cancer has touched my life. This is why I'm interested in all forms of cancer. Why can't we find a way to help people deal with this? Because it is economically draining.
Absolutely.
Financially,
Devastating.
it's devastating. You have nowhere to turn. You are prepared to give up all what you have just for a cure, and then the cure is not here. So if people are willing to help every day, I will accept the funds. Again, my number is 617-427-4727. I will drive to your home to pick up a check. Or you could drop it in the mail. If you need my address, it's okay. I will give it also.
Sure.
Is there a website that you have? Or
No, there's an email address. That's my email address, but there's no website. We are working on a website right now, and this will be up very shortly because people do need to continue to contribute towards that fund. We're asking all the diasporas from the Caribbean to help us.
Right, and I know that Barbados also has an organization that is also geared towards helping cancer patients as well. So, you know, in my thought, I'm here thinking that maybe what we all need to do is kind of get together and have a uniform way in which how we can reach each other and work through a bigger channel than just each individual operating as a silo trying to reach mass population. I think if we were to get together, so certainly I can share what I have. I'm sure they probably have other contacts, or they can work through the diaspora as well to figure out who we can reach, which organizations are focusing on certain things, and maybe have one huge meeting of the minds and then work a plan of action from there. This is what I'm thinking.
A plan. We should definitely meet to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
So are there any special announcements that you're going to be making concerning development for Barbados tourism industry through the performing arts, sports tourism, now that you would have taken a position on said FOB's board?
You mean now that you've twisted my arm? Is that what we're talking about? Sure. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. So I know that, you know, our meeting was by chance, and it sort of, you know, took on a life of its own. And when you offered the opportunity to work with the organization to reach more people at a higher level, I took that to heart, because the United Barbadians in Boston is sort of like the first step into something like that, because we're a united group, different Barbadian organizations working together. So when this offer came, this is sort of on the same plane, but you're operating on a bigger field. So it's still an opportunity to reach mass amount of people, ways that we can kind of get together and we can work together towards common good, to really expand on who we are as a people, get people to understand what our gifts are, what we can contribute, and how we are better together, working together to one common goal. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to meet with some of the individuals in Barbados when I get to visit next month. I am can't wait to meet some of the other organization members who are here, so we can kind of exchange thoughts and ideas as to what we want to do to really expand. And I'm so happy to meet, you know, Sylvan here, because we hadn't had an opportunity to meet today, but I don't think this is going to end here. I think we're going to end up having an ongoing conversation. So this is affording me an opportunity to meet so many different people that I ordinarily wouldn't have had an opportunity to be engaged with. And I think as an individual, it's helping me to develop myself and learn so much more. So I'm truly open to whatever experiences that this opportunity is going to bring.
Excellent. So we know that pretty soon that we are going to be, weeks from now, we're going to have this big celebration. What can we do outside the celebration to keep that spirit of unity together? Are we going to, at that point, during the period of this celebration, announce this new innovative concept that we have in terms of not only making Barbadians strong, but our project to take the Caribbean forward as a whole, while at the said very time contributing significantly to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts? Would we be able to make that kind of bold announcement at that gathering?
At the gala? Will you be there?
But of course I'm going to be there.
Because I might defer to you, but I think it has to be constant communication. If we're going to do anything, it has to be constant communication, because you can't operate on a large scale and be invisible at the same time.
No.
So you have to put yourself out there, and people have to understand who you are as an organization. And you know, we're a human nation. We always want to know, well, what's in it for me? So people are always going to look, well, you know, what is it you're trying to do, and what are you going to bring to the table for me? I don't mind helping you, but what are you giving back? So I think if we can find a balance that says, here's what we're trying to do, here's what the doors we're trying to open, here's what we're trying to achieve, and by doing so, here's how we as a people will benefit from this. once you get people's buy-in, I think they will.
Beautiful.
They will support.
As we said last time we have communicated, we look at, in terms of participating, having our culture participate in some of the events that Newton has here every single year.
That'd
We have
be awesome.
Newton Festival. There's so much culture exchange we can bring to the table that the residents here in Newton can get a feel of what the Caribbean region has to offer and how they can be actually a participant in that same culture. And it's good for Newton, and not only Newton, but Boston also, because what it does is to enrich tourism and also enrich social diversity, enable people of different cultures to come together. And this is what I think America need more now than ever. People being able to unite, don't see America just in one package, but see we as the globe need each other to survive successfully as individuals. Because long gone are those days where we can think that we can just do it on our own. We need everybody, we need every nation.
Yes.
And any leader who tries to think that America is going to make it on its own with or for others is absolutely incorrect. We need other nations, we need to understand their cultures and be flexible. And one way of doing it is through the performing arts and sports tourism. So is there anything, Patricia, that you would love to add concerning your church committee?
Yes, I just wanted to say that the Independence Church service this year is going to be held at St. Cyprian's Church in Roxbury, 4 o'clock in the evening on November 20th this year. It's the day right after the gala, and it's being held early this year due to the other Barbadians that want to go home to Barbados to celebrate independence on Independence Day. So all the events are being held early this year.
Could you basically tell like the Newton residents where exactly how they can get in contact with you if there's a number that they may want to come and be a part of this event?
They can get in touch with me. My number is 508-243-9637. Call for any additional information, and we'll get it available to them.
Beautiful. And Sylvan, would you care to just announce that number one more time for those residents who would have probably missed it, and make that final plea?
I'm asking the people of Newton and the surrounding areas to help the men, women, and children of the tiny island of Dominica in the Caribbean, to help us sustain us in our search for a cure. My number can be reached at 617-427-4727. We will greatly appreciate whatever help we are given. Thank you.
Beautiful.
If I can add one more thing.
Sure, definitely.
All right.
Of course.
If I can just also share with the folks in Newton is that on November 30th is Barbados' actual official Independence Day. We're not able to make it to Barbados to celebrate. However, we are going to have flag raising at City Hall from 1 to 3:30 on Wednesday, November 30th. So if there's anyone in Newton who would love to come and celebrate with us while we celebrate our country's independence, we're going to have light refreshments. We're going to have some poetry reading and just have a real symbolic experience. So if you're free to join us, I welcome you too.
Beautiful. And remember one thing, also, just want to add in these final minutes that the Vice President here for the Socio-Economic Development Foundation, we're not just only looking at the Caribbean culture only, but we're also looking at inclusively bringing the American society together, whether it's through the performing arts, whether it's through the literal arts, or whatever arts that is available there. We want to bring ourselves together as one entity that we can learn
From each other. Yes.
And that we can make a significant contribution to humanity as a whole. So I want to take this moment to thank all of you, all of the viewers who would have tuned in today on Living in the 21st Century. Once again, I want to say many thanks to Sylvan Lestrade,
Thank you for
the
having me.
representative for the Dominica Cancer Society. Also, Patricia Gorin, I want to thank you very much for coming, and she's the representative for the Barbados Church Service Committee. And more importantly, last but not least, I want to thank you, Ms. Vice President of the Socioeconomic Development Foundation,
You're
for
welcome.
being here, shedding some light of what we're looking at doing together as an organization in the future, and how it will help both Boston, Newton, and the Caribbean region as a whole. Thank you very much. God bless. Take good care.